So, not being one to miss an opportunity to capitalise on a well-known franchise, it was only a matter of time before VG Games put out their answer to Grand Theft Auto, that being Gangster Life Criminal Untold Cars Theft Police. A game whose title doesn't even attempt to disguise the keyword bingo, even going so far as to separate them by commas. But perhaps I'm being a little too hasty here with my criticism. I mean, look at that eShop thumbnail. You've got this dude blasting the shit out of the police with an SMG, a cop car about to do a 360 action flip, and a car full of AK-47s. The game even has an awesome trailer where nobody can connect a punch. And let's be honest, who wouldn't get a semi-on over playing the #1 game on how to grow from a simple crook into a gangster who controls the whole city? So let's just ignore this screenshot of some dude's feet clipping through the ground and give this potential gem of a game a whirl. And as always, drop a like if you enjoy this one and subscribe to the channel for more Switch related content. So as soon as we hit the main menu, we're able to claim our daily reward, a wad of cash, which is nice, and lucky us, day 3 even promises a baseball bat. Following this, we get our first look at our protagonist, a black dude with crazy crackhead eyes and a skin condition, and while there's no way of changing to a white dude in this game because reasons, depending on the graphics setting you can transform between a 60-year-old and a 20-year-old, so at least they're not being ageist in this one. From here though, you can check your current rank, which ranges from low-level hustler and street gangster all the way up to soldier, and you also have access to 2 different shops, the first being a weapon shop where you can purchase knives, machetes, pistols, and for the real bling bastards amongst you, even a gold-plated AK, and the second is a car shop containing a wide range of whips for you to ride around in, which for a little extra cash can be upgraded to improve the power, speed and torque. Finally, the moment you've all been waiting for, we can hit play to get into the action. Now, although you're able to play the game docked whilst accessing the main menu, the in-game controls on the other hand are completely fucked, as there's no Pro Controller support, you can't play with the Joy-Cons detached, and so your only option is to play in handheld mode, hence the reduction in video quality. That aside though, when it comes to a storyline, Gangster Life simply doesn't have one. You dropped into an empty looking city, save for a few robotic citizens and vehicles, which it turns out are all fucking empty, so you don't even have the pleasure of ripping someone out of them, and I would have even settled for that glitchy levitating shit that we got in Cop Car Police Simulator, but no. They're all self-driving Elon Musk bullshit, so Grand Theft Auto just isn't a thing in this one. Anyway, the only form of progression the game has is in its missions, which are accessed from a glitchy as shit menu and come in 5 different flavours, each of which reward a specific amount of XP and cash and are given a difficulty rating which, trust me, means absolutely fucking nothing. The first of these though is Hijacker, which as you'd expect has you stealing a car and then transporting it carefully to a drop-off location. And I mean carefully, as if you get so much as a scratch on this sumbitch, you'll fail the mission and have to start over. It's worth noting that whenever you start a mission, your route to it will be displayed on the minimap in the top right corner, and that at any point you're able to summon your own personal vehicle, though it probably goes without saying that both of these are poorly implemented. Now our next mission type is called Make His Bones, which is apparently mafia slang for killing someone in order to obtain membership into a criminal organisation, but proceeding to my target I found some old guy doing some radio taiso in the public park, who I attempted to run over with my vehicle to save me some time and effort, but unfortunately his daily exercise routine seemed to have paid off as he completely ignored the assault and continued with his stretches. He also didn't bat an eyelid when I squared up to him and even fought back a little after I laid into him, but a 1-2 combo put him on his ass and I successfully made his bones, I guess. Now I will at this point mention that the rest of the city's population can also be assaulted at will, but just like our happy park goer here, when it comes to mowing them down there's absolutely no pleasure to be had in it, as rather than bounce off your bonnet or become pavement jam, they just slide across the ground like a human curling stone before popping out of existence. Back to the missions though, next up we have Transporter, which is essentially the same thing as Hijack, though instead of delivering a car to the destination, we're delivering drugs. And the description of this one mentions that we should be careful of the cops, but similar to this game being void of any entertainment value, the city itself is in fact void of any law enforcement, so you can scrub the police part from the game's title and you needn't worry about getting busted or ending up in the slammer. Now our next mission type has to be the worst concept that I've ever seen in a game, and I don't even think it qualifies as being illegal. But Cigar Deal basically has you selling cigarettes to the general public, which you first need to procure from this shifty looking fella from the screenshots before heading out into the city and finding people to flog them to. Upon approaching them, you press down on the right thumbstick, at which point they can either accept the deal and buy one or tell you to get fucked, at which point the mission will likely bug out on you and become unfinishable, which I would in fact say is a fitting end to a shitty idea. Finally, we come to the piece La Resistance, the Stalker mission, a mission which has you tailing a Mark as he saunters wistfully through the city at a snail's pace and whom you must remain at a sufficient distance from lest he becomes suspicious and catch on to you. But this bastard literally wanders for about 4 minutes before meeting up with his mates, at which point the mission ends, and it's by far the most time consuming and least enjoyable stalking mission that I've ever played in a game, period. Now in total I completed 6 different missions, earning me enough XP to get just over halfway to a rank upgrade and just over 3 grand in cash, enough to buy me a hunting knife which I then proceeded to use on an innocent bystander. Though, as you can see, the developer didn't even bother to add animations for the weapon, so zero pleasure to be had in this one either. To unlock anything remotely interesting, you're going to need to cough up $6,000 for your first firearm, and the cheapest machine guns are $20,000, which, doing the math, equates to about 35 mission completions. But I'm fucked if I'm spending another second with this game, let alone another couple of hours, so I won't be unlocking any more weapons or vehicles, and in fact I've probably already uninstalled this shit by the time this review has gone live. That, folks, though, is pretty much everything this one has to offer, and I actually spoke with an ex-employee of the developer who told me that the team behind the game were given a week to create a GTA clone, which, needless to say, was a tall order and they failed miserably at, but all things considered, given the time frame, I'd say that they did a pretty decent job at least creating the foundations for a GTA clone. People like Midnight Works and VG Games though really don't give a shit about the creativity of the developers or about video games in general and are just out to make a quick buck in whatever way they can. And this is evident by the sheer amount of scam titles that they shit out onto the eShop on a monthly basis. But for more on this low-life publisher and their so-called games, I recommend checking out my Scam Games playlist, which should tell you everything you need to know about them. With that said though, hopefully you enjoyed this review and I was able to save you a bit of cash with it. And if I did, drop a like to show your appreciation, and consider subscribing to the channel for more like it, as well as reviews of actual Nintendo Switch games and top lists of the best the Switch has to offer. For now though, I just want to thank you all once again for watching, and until next time, take care of yourselves and game on.